Marshall Fire survivors tell us that they still haven't heard from attorneys on how much of a settlement with Xcel Energy they'll get. The company announced it had reached a principal agreement on a $640 million settlement on Wednesday.
Yeah, these survivors would like to get that money quickly, as you would imagine, to avoid a potential tax problem. 9 News consumer investigator Steve Stager is here to explain this issue. And Steve, with this particular issue, these particular folks, the clock is ticking.
It really is. Congress passed a disaster relief bill, and as part of that bill, it would exempt the proceeds from these wildfire settlements from federal taxes. The problem is that bill sunsets on December 31st. A Superior City Councilwoman who helped lobby for that bill says she hopes the money is sorted out quickly or Congress acts to make that change permanent.
We had a smoke damaged home. The fire was put out by firefighters in the street in front of our home, so everything across the street from us was lost in the fire.
Jen Cowish is a Marshall Fire survivor.
For example, we had damage to the windows from the heat and the smoke, and the insurance company denied that. So that was something that we ended up paying like $70,000 out of pocket to replace the windows in our home.
She's a plaintiff in the lawsuit against Xcel and 2 other telecom providers, a suit that Xcel agreed to settle on Wednesday for $640 million.
I know very little, and which is smart of the attorneys. They don't tell us everything. I do know that there's an expectation that there will be some more information in October.
Cowish is also a Superior City councilor who spent the last few years traveling to Washington, D.C. to prepare for a settlement like this.
A lot of trips to D.C., bipartisan delegation from Oregon, California, Colorado, and then now folks from Lahaina in Hawaii.
Under U.S. tax law, a settlement like this is considered income and can be taxed as such. In December of last year, thanks to lobbying from Cowish and other fire survivors from across the country, Congress passed a disaster relief bill that exempted wildfire settlements from federal income taxes. But there was a catch. That bill only lasted for 1 year. It's set to go away on December 31st.
We need to push against legislators to amend the tax codes to make sure that when people receive a settlement from something like this, that they're not paying almost half of it in taxes. Like, the U.S. government does not deserve this money. It's for fire survivors.
Cowish says she hopes the looming tax deadline speeds up the settlement process for Marshall Fire survivors. And if it doesn't, that Congress does something a little bit more permanent.
Nobody up in Congress thinks that fire survivors should be paying this money, but they really are going to have to put their butts on the line for this.
The current law allows any fire survivors who received settlement funds dating back to 2019 to amend their taxes this year and get that money back. Cowish says that she hopes that the deadline, if that deadline comes and goes, that Congress would at least extend that courtesy to Marshall Fire survivors. I'm Steve Stager. Steve on your side, 9 News.
All right, Steve, thanks so much. Yep. Good for everybody to know. A lot of people would think that that wasn't the case.
Yeah, you know, you'd think with a settlement like this, you'd never think it would be taxable income. But in this case, you also have to think about the state consideration here, though Cowish says a lot of state legislators say already that they'll do something if this becomes a problem in the next tax year for people in the state, and as far as state income.
And it could be if it pushes you into another bracket. Yeah. All right, Steve, thank you.